Hey guys, SB McWilliams here. Had a question from one of my customers, Dan, on how I apply my finish. For those of you who don't know, I make SB McWilliams, and mostly I specialize in alkanet finishes, but I have some clear varnishes, satin varnishes, and some walnut stain as well. The important thing regarding any of my varnishes is that you really only want to pour out just what you need for what the job's going to be, which in this case we're just going to use this old Mauser stock just as a demonstration purposes only. This is my alkanet varnish. I'll just put a little bit more in there. The reason you want to get the cap on as soon as possible is because the volatiles, or the things that evaporate out of this, evaporate quickly. So you pour out what you need for the coat that you want to put on and no more, and get the cap back on. I can't emphasize that enough. And then his key question was, what do I use to apply my finishes? And oddly enough, many people use their hands, they use brushes, they use foam. I've heard people use a variety of different things. I use Scott's Blue towels. And I learned this from a custom wood making site. I didn't really believe it at first that it could be lint free. A lot of people use cotton rags, but so I took the counsel of a more elderly man, and I decided to give it a go. So normally I'll get it down to about 1.5 inches. I mean, you can go an inch; it's kind of arbitrary, really. The main thing is you just want to cut off any loose shards to make it a nice clean pad, and then you take your fingers, your forefinger and your thumbs, and you press a nice edge like that. This is a little thick, but generally if you go with a 3 to 4 inch square, you'll get the dimensions that feel comfortable in your hand, and each of our hands is different. Now when I apply it, the first thing I do is I usually hit it with just a little in the center line of the butt like that. That does a couple of things. It preloads the piece of wood to pick up more finish as I start my run of strokes. It also fully saturates that end that you want without it being overly wet. Now to apply my varnish, which is the reason I developed them myself, is because I didn't like the way True Oil flowed, is I'll start with a single pass just like that, and it really isn't any harder than that. As you can see, with each successive coat, you're getting a nice distribution of material, and then when you need more, it's a simple matter of picking it up. You have plenty of work time. If you said probably 2 to 3 minutes, that's probably fairly accurate. And what's nice about my varnishes is they dry the way they lay, just like that. So when I come back to this, there won't be any surprises. Tack time is typically